Hey guys, how's it going? It's July 16th, 2019. And I'm going to go over to Smiley's server for a moment. I don't think I'll be staying there too long. But I don't know how it's 9:25. I'm not too sure at this point. So we had some emails earlier today. We've exchanged some messages. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not 100% giving up just yet. Or basically, I won't go down without a fight. Put it that way. But it doesn't look too good as far as the ideas I had for Syracuse. And it's not me quitting or giving up like I've been accused of before. It's just eventually it runs its course and it's not where it once was. So I'm trying. It's almost like I'm trying to nostalgicize or being nostalgic. I don't know if nostalgicize is a word, but it's like there's a nostalgic part of what I have experienced with Run8 that I can't seem to find. And there's times where I'm having fun and it's just like I feel the engine, I feel things coming up, but then after a while it's just like, okay, well, okay, the server dropped on me last night, but I was already starting to get tired after 2.5 hours, and I knew I had a local to finish. So yeah, it was just I didn't know what was going to happen. But let's go in over to let me go in closer to where we are. That's Selkirk Terminal. Jesus Murphy. I guess it's not. What the hell's test car? I have no idea what test car is, but maybe I put it, or I did it. I don't know what it is. That's interesting. Whereabouts am I? Interesting. Okay, that looks familiar. Oh, I know where that is. Okay. I think I know where that is. Yeah, gotcha. Schenectady or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into. I got one person on. It looks like we're good tonight. Network status. Oh, Smiley's on there right now. What's UT1? I don't know. Jump transport dislike to train. I don't even know what a UT1 is. Yeah. Somewhere, someplace. Okay, so what I was trying to do is basically here in the. I don't know if that switcher's still out here or not. I could probably finish it up, but I really don't feel like it. Wherever the hell I put it. I'll let somebody else finish it someday. At this point, I'm gonna try to use my resources to try to figure out where. And I know Scott did a little bit of work actually earlier today in Syracuse just to try to get things going or whatever. Yeah, I think this is me right here. Okay. He was doing something. I don't know what he was doing, but he did something about organizing cars or something. But so it took about 2.5 hours to do that local, which is okay. I mean, that's actually pretty small for a local. I mean, a lot of locals go a lot further than that. Let me get over to DeWitt here. I'm on this side of DeWitt. I didn't know where I was. I thought I was going the other way. Okay. That's cool. I thought it was an eastbound I was watching for a moment. So yeah, he did something in here, but I'm not too sure what. It doesn't matter really at this point. I mean, I appreciate the fact that he was doing it. So, oh, there's another train here. Oh, the B769. Yeah, and I believe Smiley brought that one down. But so, I mean, what Scott was doing, actually, that's kind of where I was getting at. But at the same time, it's a lot to ask to, especially with a route that has a lot to offer, for anybody to be concentrated on one area. Now, I just posted a message on my forum. I think it was my forum. Or did I do that in the email? I can't remember. I don't know. I did it in an email or I did it in a forum or something, but maybe it was a message just between Scott and I. I'm not too sure. But basically, what's, I mean, Smiley's working, I'm working. We have only so much time. I have time with my son. A lot of that, Smiley was just mentioning about my son and recovery, and it's been going great, which means that I do have, plenty of time. I should have got a drink of water again beforehand. Seems like when I'm talking, I start losing my my voice or whatever. Just gonna take a quick look around at the various areas. I'm probably better off. I should have looked at the maps instead. I think would probably be a wiser move. But now let's go ahead. I'm trying to think of the various areas. Not so much here. Hudson Yard's a possibility, but not really. I don't think it is. Something's actually stopped for a signal. I don't know where that is. 8386. I can't find it. Don't see it. 8386. Now if it's there, I don't see it. Huh. Oh, I see. He's just sitting over here. Let me. Let me see that for a second. Yeah, just a little bummed, unfortunately. So there's a lot of variety that's available basically, for obvious reasons, and if we're just a microcosm of it, this is like a perfect example. Now I understand. I mean I enjoy the bowl and everything in Selkirk. There's beautiful sections along here. I think I was looking at Hudson Fair for a minute. Oh yeah, I was looking at Hudson. So oh, intermodal. Wow. It's weird seeing freights down here. Well, Hudson's an interesting area, but I don't think it's big enough. It's not too bad. So that's a possibility. What I'm doing is I'm trying to find an area. Obviously, I tried Syracuse. Syracuse is too much. I'm trying to find something that can potentially change on a daily basis and feel more like a 24/7 railroad. And what I mean is not a 24/7 server, but a 24/7 railroad where enough is happening at any given time. So there's a small yard here in Hudson, which, there's a spawn point nearby, which is kind of cool. But it starts getting trickier when you're looking at various spawn points. Although it's not the end of the world either. Let's see what's in the area, because I never really thought of this area too much. But so we got a yard here that's not really being utilized for anything. So I'll put this on here. Milepost tags. Destination. Okay, I don't know what Shift F8 does. Is that a screen? I could be posting all kinds of screens and not even realizing it. Oh, okay, there we go. So we've got the one industry here. More, do we have more than one? I can't remember. I think it's just the one. Okay. Okay, so you got the ADM mill, which is fine. That's one industry. It doesn't take much. So that's fine. Now, I haven't really looked at Hudson Yard too much, but let's just keep going with that for a minute. Of course, you got Albany itself. Now, of course, the trains that are coming out of here are what kind of mileage are we talking about here? So Hudson 114, 124. You're into 142 by the time you get into that way. So now we look at the spawn points. Let's look at the spawn points that are in the area. We'll start with New York City. Okay, nothing set up there. 293 is not going to work. Fonda, Little File, Sonata, Port Sub. Port Sub's interesting. Port Sub's interesting for some various reasons. But I'm not going to look at that right now. River Line, no. Selkirk Yard, no. So yeah, there isn't even a spawn point where I would like to have one. The only place that there's a real close spawn point, the closest spawn point available, I guess would be would probably be here. I was going to say Port Sub, but that's not going to be it. That's actually an interesting one. Ooh, okay. Hang on a second here. So this is somewhat interesting. Okay. So you got Arthur Daniels Midland. You've got the Shaduk sub or whatever the hell it is. Which of course you have AI set up to go in that direction, which is fine. I mean, the danger with that is all of a sudden you have a spawn coming right at you. Always a danger. but at least it gives you something. And you don't have to necessarily, I mean, if you run in and all of a sudden a train pops up, as long as it doesn't, you know, I think you can probably hit the magic brake, which I call, where it just stops on a dime, which would allow the which would allow you to prevent a high-speed collision. Because when a high-speed collision happens, that sometimes crashes the server. Port sub goes the wrong way to try to get it to come this way. Like one, for example, one just spawned right there. So if I was coming along here, then, you know, and where I'd go from here, I have no idea, because I would have to come the same way, and I can't get back in. Like once I'm here, once I'm at this point at Stuyvesant, I'm okay, but once I cross over, then I'm not. So that's an interesting smaller area. So I'm just trying to think if there's a possibility here. Of course, everything. I mean, I could play around. Okay. So, yeah, that was weird, because this guy had just gone through when he spawned. So there's no other way to get around it. You have to either go that way, or you end up coming down this way, and then you can't get back in, type thing. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try that. KIWR8. So that guy, guys, is the actual, if instead of going the IP, if you want to go kiwr8.hop2.org, that should work. Let's see if it does work. So now, well, see, Yeah, see, I don't have any mixed freight trains for down there. I'll have to think of one. So Hudson Yard, I don't think anything else comes out of there. Of course, I've got that. There's no other industries that I can think of. There is no spawn point for CP. And of course, if I did go and developed RTS2, which I've talked about doing, but then, you know, anytime I think about it, then I think I second guess it and say, nah, I better not. So that's where the sub splits there. Let's follow that up for a minute. Well, there's certainly one advantage of taking that line, and that is to get to that. That would be nice. Of course, the disadvantage is if something all of a sudden spawns at you. The only thing you can do is you could turn the AI spawning off temporarily, I suppose. Random AI traffic enabled. I don't think there's any further down that way. At least I didn't see any. Okay, that's where it crosses. All right. Just take a look at ADM for a minute. Again, I might be, just basically on a last ditch, who knows what, but ADM can run a switcher. Which would make that a little interesting. Okay, so industry cars. Okay, so that's GO51. Okay, I think that's the first industries here. So you've got the Albany area. So that's another possibility. Which actually gives you a pretty long stretch. Now, of course, if you spawn a train, Hudson, having a train on that track makes it interesting. But I'm not too sure about coming from the other way. As in fact, I don't think it can be done from the other way without isolating that. In fact, the only way to do it, as far as I can tell, might be to put an industry at CP, perhaps, but so Albany's got B763. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the only problem. Well, I shouldn't say. Actually, no, because you'd have to dodge the passenger trains, which isn't so bad. Okay. Oh, I was right at it. B758. It's kind of interesting. It's not really a yard, per se. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell it's doing. It looks like it's a, I can't tell if it's a stop measure or... Okay. So that's got some potential. The thing that I like about it is the turnover time isn't much. Of course, it's it's still going to require how do you say it? Busy. So that's got some potential. Um, CPSH. The hell's that go to? Oh, that's oh, okay. That's all right. That's interesting. So, Amsterdam's not too bad. You're looking at CP. That's a pretty good regional distance. CP 173 gets onto the Hudson connector. Now, I mean, it can go various ways, I suppose. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to figure out what the best way. It's better to go up to SH. See, that's what I always get confused with this area, because it comes out here, but then this one goes like way down there, it seems. Okay. So yeah, if I zoom in on this area here, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so that's, yeah, so this is up, it heads north towards Albany. I'm just trying to figure out how the hell is that. How the hell does it come down here and then manage to cross? I gotta take a look at that for a minute. I guess that explains that. Carmen sub. Oh yeah, got some fun with that. But so that's kind of cool. So it crosses, and then it crosses over the bridge, which is kind of neat. Okay, so it crosses over. Well, that explains that. I think. Just looking at the various. That's Gelderland Industrial. Then there's, oh yeah. So you got all these different various local short lines. So I'm not trying to do a short line. I'm actually trying to represent kind of a regional railroad, basically. Um, that's part of the system type thing. So the Amtraks will come through whenever they come through, which is fine. So I'll have to be, then they're always going to be westbound, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is, which is fine. The so let me go back over to thing here. Okay, West Albany Yards here. Gotcha. Right over here. I was gonna play around with this, but I thought, nah, not tonight, but I can assume that that's an older industry or whatever. So what I'll end up doing is then based on the state, I guess, I will decide which way to send them, which makes kind of sense. But I'll have to play around with it a little bit and, you know, just try it out, see what happens. Okay, so it's just a one track here. Okay, here we go. So we got a whole area here of about 4 tracks, other than that one, I guess. So I guess you have 3 tracks here for storage or sorting. It's kind of difficult to get a train to go that way, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Unless I send them all that way. Can I do that? If I send them through West Albany, where would they wind up? Well, I could send them that way. I'm just wondering if there's a place in Amsterdam where I can kill the train as well. Or just run it as far as I feel like, and then at the end of the night let it become part of the stream. Which kind of makes sense. So the only downside I can't that I'm seeing right now is I wouldn't be seeing AI freight traffic. The only way I'd be able to do that is if I decide to go via the Carmen sub, which is kind of appealing. I mean, we're all the way down to 156 here. So that's like 10 miles. I guess you could run either way, but this is kind of more interesting to run this way. Now, do I have a signal there, or is it just a switch? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I have a switch. Okay, where's the signal? Sorry, meant signal. I don't see it. If I do, or is that it right there? Oh, okay, there you are. Yeah, it is right-hand running at that point, so that's kind of cool. Is that a yellow light or restricting? Actually, is it restricting? Oh, train going through. Yeah, that way's much more interesting. So then we get into the double track. I mean, yeah, I know it's double track and all, but at least then you're mingling with everything. Get yourself up to here. Oh, that's Rotterdam. Okay. There's the other line down there. Yeah, I kind of like that. Going that way instead, because here you're only getting into you know, you're going to get your westbound passenger traffic going that way, which is fine. You're not going to see freight. You're not going to really see freights on that line anyways. So I think that's prototypical. What's not prototypical is we don't have eastbounds, but you know, that's about the best we can do in this situation, really. I mean, it's the whole idea is, again, to keep the AI going. So, but I mean, this train here, he's been catching up to him. What is he at? He's at 2.0. Yeah, see, he's at 3.2. So this is where these higher speed trains will start catching up, but that's normal. Q279. Yeah, you know, I kind of like running the Carmen subs, so I might try that. Oh, there's a CP rail connection over there too. Interesting. I like the whole CP rail idea as well. Okay, so give it a shot. I'm willing to try. At least that's a smaller area. Hopefully people will take to it. But like I said, trying to get people, you know, involved or whatever is difficult, unfortunately. Okay, guys. So this was actually more positive than I thought it was going to be. So, and there's other areas too if this doesn't work out. But I think this one might have a little bit more leg room. It's not as big of a yard as I would like, but still, I mean, I think I can work with it. Hopefully, and the locals don't seem to be too involved, which is kind of what I like. So, and then there I can emphasize on running a few main lines in and out, give it a bit of a purpose. Okay, guys, that's all for now. So I might be back tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. It's my son's birthday. So, anyways, if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you whenever the next time is, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.